Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers, sisters and friends, welcome back to Thursday Night Live. What an amazing week it's been. We've been out there looking for the most interesting things to discuss. And what a fantastic day we've had today. The sunshine, it's been amazing. Obviously, when you get to my age, you don't want to do too much, but subhanAllah, the sun was out. You get all excited. You want to get out there. You want to go shopping, all that kind of stuff. But eventually, you're like, oh, I just want to go sleep. But alhamdulillah, it's been a working day today, and it's been really, really good, alhamdulillah. Obviously, what can I say? I mean, there's so much things which ties into the good weather, which we're going to hear about today. But obviously, we got some amazing guests today as well. We have on our new segment something very interesting. And we have someone who's going to be taking us through London and one of their amazing tours as well. But first, let's talk about what's in the news. So here we go. See what's going on in the news now. Yeah, so interesting development in the news. Nike became the first major sport brand to launch hijab for women. The new hijab is designed to make sport more comfortable for Muslim women and goes on sale in 2018. Now, the light fabric has tiny holes for breathability, and the length has also been designed to stop it coming untucked during activity. Sporting hijabs have been around for some years, but Nike is the first major international company to embrace the sports needs of for Muslim women. So you can see here with this picture. Now, as you can see, it is very, very fashionable as well. So this is something which we're going to be discussing also. Now, however, there is opposition from some saying that it undermines the spirit and purpose of hijab. But others say this is a positive development as hijab is often viewed as oppressive and backwards. Now, I want to know what your views are on this, because remember, without a doubt, this is something that we're going to see a lot of in the very near future. And on that note, we have someone at the door, so please come in. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, nice round of applause for you, brother. Come and sit down, inshallah. So, we have, brothers and sisters, let me close the door because
sorry, I left it was,
yeah, that's no problem.
Let the draft in.
No problem at all. We have a very, very interesting guest with us today, Brother Ismail Sakrani, who is part of a company which ties into our story, actually, because the company name is Modestly Active. So, first of all, what can you tell us about... No, you know what? I'm trying to lead the viewers onto something here, but I won't do that. What we have here, brothers and sisters, is so we have this new concept, this new hijab by Nike, the major brand. Now, what we're seeing is that this is something which is not new. And you yourself are the person behind this whole concept, or your family, right? Tell us a little bit about it, bro.
I mean, we set up as a company for Islamic swimwear in 2006. 2006,
yeah.
But a couple of years after that, we identified that there was an actual big need for sisters when they're playing sport. And, you know, I have 3 daughters. SubhanAllah, they're grown up now. But they're all active in their own ways. They all want to play sports, whether it's basketball or martial arts, whatever. And we identified that if you're wearing a hijab, there isn't anything proper available for them. So we sat on the board to try and develop something that would utilize the unique elements of our swimwear, and then to try and develop a product. And we launched the Hijubi in 2011, which was a sportswear hood and base layer item that sisters can wear underneath their kit. And what it allowed them to do, the hijab stays in place, doesn't move around when you're doing martial arts or anything like that. And then they can go and enjoy their sport and get better at it and concentrate on the sport that they're playing.
So now, so you've got your product. We're going to have a look at yours in a minute as well. I have to say, when I saw this image here, when I saw this, the one from Nike, it was quite interesting because I thought, okay, do you know what? This is actually, it's quite fashionable, right? So this is why I wanted brothers and sisters to call in with their views on this one, right? Yeah. Because some people may be against this, Absolutely. Some people might be for it.
Yeah.
Now, what I think is quite interesting about it actually is that this is my view, right? Now, when we look at sportswear in general, whether it be trainers, right? How many people wear trainers but actually go for a run?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hardly any.
Very few. Very
How
few.
many people wear tracksuits and actually go for a run? Hardly any. Could we possibly start to see a trend where non-Muslim women are wearing this product?
Well, when you think about that, for us, we were very fortunate when we did the swimwear.
Yeah.
Quite a few years ago in 2011, Nigella Lawson wore our swimwear product in Australia.
This is very interesting. I remember we discussed this.
Yeah, it was a huge TV story.
Tell us more about that, Bobby. This is very interesting.
Yeah, well, it was a funny story. You know, we obviously we had a small call center, and we had a phone call a while ago. Somebody placed an order for 3 products of our swimwear products, and you know the address given was clearly Nigella Lawson's office space. You know, so we sent the goods as we did, and we just let it slide. From that, we never really spoke about it. But then, when Nigella Lawson wore it, you know, the phone was off the hook on that. I remember on that morning clearly. You know, I got a phone call from one newspaper company who said that, you know, I want to do a telephone interview with you. Have you heard the story? Do you know what's happened? And obviously at that time we weren't really sure what had happened. And then they told us that Nigella Lawson's worn it, and the newspapers have picked it up, and they're going with it.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Why didn't you use it as a springboard to?
No, I mean, subhanAllah, for us, you know, as I was saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafur Rahim. You know, like we got plugged in a way that we couldn't. We started getting inquiries from far-flung places, from Russia, you know, from America, from Canada, and the product, alhamdulillah, what it created more than anything else, what it created is that debate about whether this is just for a certain faith.
Yeah.
And it was very, very evident from the person wearing it. She clearly wasn't a Muslim, and she wasn't wearing it for those purposes. She was wearing it because, you know, she wanted to cover her skin, protect herself from the sun.
So, brothers and sisters, that's why I'm asking you this question now. You know, what are your views about this? Because obviously, we know the Muslim men, we're supposed to lower our gaze, right? And it is it's obligation for us to do this, right? Although it might be very difficult. Now, the thought of you know, women choosing to wear something like this, which actually, you know, it creates modesty.
Absolutely.
I think it makes it a lot easier for us not to have to worry about, you know, lowering our gaze so much, because it might not be so difficult.
No,
but
and I think that, look, at the end of the day, for example, this product is out there.
Yeah.
The product is designed to allow a woman to make that choice. You know,
Yes,
if she wants to wear it, she can wear it, and if she doesn't want to wear it, she doesn't have to wear it. And the onus is purely on me. You know, like if I'm looking in the wrong way, that's between me and my creator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you understand that? Whatever the person's faults are, that's going to be between them and their creator as well. You know. So for us, we developed this product through necessity, because my wife wanted to wear one, and there wasn't anything around, so she made one to fit her requirements. You know, we go on family holidays, we go on beach holidays. As my daughters were getting older, we were consciously thinking about, you know, how we're going to get around this dilemma of, you know, we want the beach holiday, but as your daughters get older, you know, I'm dad and da 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 da.
Yeah.
You know, so it was, and this is the beauty about any company, not only our own, but this is the beauty about our company, in that the products that have been made, that have been developed through desire for use.
Yes.
You know, for necessity.
Yeah.
It's never been profit orientated, and what you're going to find is that now that the hijab is big news, you know, and obviously because it's big news, a lot of people are
well, I mean, obviously, don't forget, we have seen recently in the news as well, one of the larger companies that make abaya and hijab are now in Debenhams,
in the high street,
in the store.
No, and I think it's a great thing, you know, because at the end of the day, sisters, you know, over the last decade, they've really pulled out the stops. You know, they've come out with innovation, development. You know, they've come out with you know, I would say history-changing products. And we certainly can't be saying that the sisters are lagging behind.
No.
You know, the notion that you know, in Islam women are held back, that notion is well and truly completely blown away. If you excuse the pun.
Definitely, I agree. In actual fact, in the second part as well of the show, we're going to actually look at some of your products in more detail. And obviously, brothers and sisters, maybe now you're wondering, oh, what's it like? Maybe it's a bit of stitched up cotton and badly stitched, and that's what the sisters had to put up with. But believe you me, it's actually a lot more than that, alhamdulillah.
Oh, the amount of beats I had to give to my daughters to make it, in the kitchen, But
wow.
no, it was
so
not like that.
actually, also, which we haven't mentioned yet, is the fact that your products was also used in one of the major Middle Eastern sporting events. What was?
Yeah, it was subhanallah, last year in 2015. Our product was used in the GCC Women's Games, and what that is, that's an annual event that takes place where all the women from around the Gulf countries, the 6 Gulf countries, they participate in various sports. At the level. It's a very big event, at the same level as the probably along the lines of the Olympics. So our product was used by a lot of the athletes there, and we had some rave reviews from that event. And it was for us, it was a major deal.
Also, how affordable would you say your products are?
Oh, subhanallah. I mean, the whole idea is to make it accessible. We're not in the market, we're earning a living from the company, of course.
Yeah.
But we're not in the market to unfairly put a price tag to it. So, I mean, the products retailing $14.99, $19.99, they're not
bad.
Expensive. No. I mean, the way that we've done it, yes, of course, we've been lucky that our reach has grown over the last few years. We have more retailers stocking our product. We have a lot of big chains that.
You told me earlier that your missus, obviously, she's the main sort of person behind this, and she's a designer and at the forefront, or you're at the forefront, wherever.
Yeah. She's definitely at the forefront.
She's at the forefront. Now, tell me something. Did you obviously, you showed me some of the products that are amazing.
Yeah.
Did you think to yourself, oh, I want to, can we get a nice top for men, dear? You go, no, it's not happening. No top for men.
No, alhamdulillah, we've got a menswear item coming up, because obviously there is a Sharia requirement for men as well.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important that people understand that. I don't think that.
Well, I want to cut you there. I'll tell you why, because we're going to see more about this product, hear more about it after the break, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, don't miss your chance to put your comments on this one, because I'd like to hear your view, inshallah. But until then, we're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere. And then when you come back, more from Brother Ismail. So take care, inshallah, and we will see you after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live.
This program is brought to you by Syria Relief.
Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. So, as you saw in the first part, we're discussing a really excellent initiative, a product which is for the Muslimah, for the Muslim sisters. We saw how Nike have their new product out, coming out in 2018. I've got my guest here, Brother Ismail Sakrani, and, mashallah, you have had your range out since 2006, which is the Hijubi, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now, what I was going to do, first of all, the first question to ask is the name. Where does that name come from for that particular product?
Yeah, I mean, for example, for the sportswear item, we thought of we wanted to create something that was a hijab and a hood. So then my daughter Asma came up with the idea of a hijubi.
Hijubi, mashallah.
So a combination of a hijab and a hood. So we said hijubi, and it was a really nice flow to it.
Yeah.
So we went with that. Alhamdulillah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, let's take them out. So, brothers and sisters, here are some of the amazing products. Now, you can't feel this material, this fabric, right? You're going to tell me about this fabric. What is so good about this fabric? It feels obviously it's quite soft. And let me hand it over to you. You tell us about you take us through these, inshallah.
Yeah. So if we start off with, if I start off talking about the hijubi.
This is the hijubi.
Yeah, this is made in a very soft fabric, and it's designed to be worn as a base layer. So sisters wear it underneath their normal kit.
Right.
You know? And what we've done with the fabrics is that we've given it wick technology.
Right.
So what that does, it takes sweat away from the skin, keeps the sister dry, and takes the sweat away, so she doesn't feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What we've also done with this is that one of the issues is that when you're playing sports, you don't want the sleeve to ride up,
yes,
or anything like that.
Yeah.
So what we did is that we put a really nice thumb hole feature.
A thumb slot, brilliant.
Like that, so you can wear it like this, and it just stays down. So this was designed for that, so they can wear the tracksuit over the top of it, or whatever.
It's really nice. I mean, the feel of it is
yeah, and
really nice.
not that I go around wearing women's clothes, but what I will say is that I wanted to have a look at.
That's interesting the way it does feel. Sort of like, okay, bro, you ain't meant to be touching this stuff.
No, the thing about this is that I play football, so we normally wear compression gear anyway, and I wanted to know what this felt like. So I took the hood off, and I wore it in a football game just to try it out. And so it's fantastic. It is.
We've got a call, and so let's take this call. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. Who's calling?
Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to say that, see, personally for myself, I wouldn't waste a lot of money to buy that. I would just get like a rainproof jacket nowadays. You can get in a cheap shop, which I wouldn't mention.
A what? Sorry, a rainproof jacket.
You can
did
put
you
it in
say?
your bag.
A
and
rainproof
you can wear
jacket.
that and jog. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted to also say, I've got jumpers at home, and it's already got a hood, so you would just put that and have a wee jog and go for a run or go for a walk.
It wouldn't really be suitable for the
I've
gym.
got nothing against the brother. What he's doing, alhamdulillah, some sisters might like it.
Yeah.
But also I wanted to say that, see, when you were saying about the Nike ones, you don't need a Nike logo. It's not very elegant. For me, as a mature lady, I would just be happy with an elegant scarf. I wouldn't want a Nike on my head. I don't think it's very feminine.
Fantastic, sister. That is very, very good point. I could almost, Jazakallah khair for calling, by the way, and please make sure you call in again, because I recognize your voice. I know you've called before, inshallah. So Jazakallah khair, sister. I could almost answer that on your behalf, because I know that you wear a rainproof jacket, right? You're going to start to sweat profusely, and you're in danger of catching a cold, aren't you? Especially if the weather's not too warm.
And the thing is, these products are really designed for a variety of sports.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're playing basketball, you're not going to really be able to wear a raincoat while you're playing basketball.
Yeah.
Or if you're indoors, if you're in the gym to do a cardio workout, you probably want. But I mean, like I said, there's a need for the product.
Yeah.
Some sisters will want it, others won't. I mean, like for example, the swimwear item of ours. It's a covering garment, but what is it about the covering garments? I mean, we've made ours. We use specialist fabrics to make sure it's fit for purpose.
Yeah.
So, for example, on the swimwear, if you're wearing a full covering garment, you're not going to be able to wear a full covering garment and then jump into the pool and let the water soak into that garment, because it becomes really, really heavy.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to swim.
Which I know you're going to show us a really fascinating demonstration in 1 second, because we've got a call. So let's take this call first, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Thursday Night Live. Who's calling?
Assalamualaikum, it's Khadija.
Khadija.
I'm just calling to comment on this conversation, and I think it's absolutely great that you've got a Muslim brother who has created such a fantastic product with his family. I just think it's such a shame that because they're not exposed to the media the way a company like Nike has. And as we know that Nike have just come in with a product.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That quite evidently this brother has bought out is it in 2011?
Yeah.
And I just think it's, the companies such as these should be given that media platform to be able to, promote these products. Because it's just, like the product has come out again, and obviously this company had brought it out well in advance. And we saw something similar with Dolce & Gabbana when they brought out the Abaya collection. It just comes down to the cultural appropriation and how, these mainstream companies come in and take ideas that have been there for plenty of years prior to them coming out with them. So I just think, these Muslim companies and the smaller organizations should definitely be given the same media platform that the mainstream companies definitely get.
Sister, do you think that the Muslim community supports young and sort of up and coming or small businesses like Modestly Active?
I definitely think the Muslim community do support one another and do promote these businesses, but I feel like the mainstream media should also promote these companies because they've evidently been around. They have been catching the media attention, like the brother said about the Nigella Lawson incident. I feel like the mainstream media choose not to pick up on these products and companies, which is where it's really a shame.
Sure. What do you say to that? Sister,
Well,
Jazakallah khair for that call. Really appreciate it. MashaAllah, may Allah bless you. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.
No, Mr. Warren, I think in a way the sisters kind of hit it on the head as well, that we have got constraints in terms of marketing. We're not able to market in the way that we would like to market. But obviously shows like this and other similar Islamic shows, I think there is a call to bring on to a public medium, people that are innovating. We were just talking earlier on before the break that sisters have really pulled out the stops. They've really gone to town in terms of putting a business mind on their head and thinking of ways in which more and more people can get involved, more sisters can get involved, and on a sporting level. There's billions and billions of people. We'll all get our earnings. I don't think if tomorrow 50 new companies start making hijabs, it's going to affect us.
Well, look, we've got so much to go through, bro.
Absolutely,
We've got so much to go through. First of all, I asked a question earlier on. What's so good about your fabric? Let's talk about your swimming.
For us, one of the things that we did is that we made sure that our company used specialist fabrics. So everything's fit for purpose. So in the way that we've got WIT technology for the hijubi, what we did with the swimwear, apart from it being 100% chlorine resistant and sea salt resistant, so that it's got longer life, we also made it completely waterproof as well. So if you've got
waterproof.
Yeah, you've got.
Hold on a second. Here's my drink which I prepared earlier. Let's have a demonstration of this.
So basically, what we did is that.
We've got another call as well. We'll take that call. Oh, did you see that? Yeah. Can we see this? Yeah, it's actually floating on the surface.
Yeah, so
here we go.
What we did is that we created it. I don't know whether you've got that there.
I reckon you should let it run on the table, bro, because then that's proof that it hasn't soaked into the fabric.
No, and it doesn't.
Let it run on the table. Let's see it on the camera. Go on. Let's get roll it off. Look at that, brothers and sisters. That's amazing.
And it's completely dry then.
That is. So. I mean, you're sure that's not just clear, plastic, so it's completely not breathable? Because that's the only other thing I can think of that would make it.
No, I mean the thing is, the technology that behind fabric development and sporting development. I mean, this is one of the reasons why sports manufacturers, the bigger manufacturers, are actually booming, and it's because they're using technical fabrics. And it's not obviously there is a cost element to it.
We've got a call, and I reckon it's to do with you as well. So let's take it, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Thursday Night Live. Who's calling? Assalamu alaikum.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Jazakallah khair for calling.
I'd like to start by saying what a wonderful topic you're speaking about.
Yes.
I think it's a fantastic concept and what they've developed. I hope all the sisters out there continue to support these companies rather than those in it for the money.
Oh, mashallah.
Wow, mashallah. Fantastic point. Fantastic point, mashallah. I mean, obviously, I always try to be impartial and unbiased when it comes to things like this, but, it is always good to see a healthy, support for, for local companies.
Yeah, I think obviously in my in our company, obviously it's great to hear that, and it's great to see that sisters have acknowledged the development of the product. But I think it is important, we are one big community.
Inshallah.
And those people, whether it's our company or other people that have developed similar products, if somebody comes out with the innovation for it, if they come out with the development, it's not. We don't have deep pockets to make for R&D.
Yeah.
This
is where the issue
some
is.
Very serious choices have to be made about where you're going to put your money.
I think she had another point as well. Is that right? Do you have another point, sister?
Yeah. She was saying about.
Okay, she's got. Okay, Jazakallah khair for that. Anyway, really good point. Thank you very much. It's about that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Which is why, I mean, I guess I am surprised that you didn't sort of really, the fact that you had a world famous celebrity who.
No, I mean, look, for
publicly endorses it by wearing it.
Yeah, I mean, for us, subhanAllah, you know, our business grows, and since 2006, you know, we've grown year in, year out. But at the same time, we are a family. You know, we have got kids. You know, and you're playing this juggling act. You know, I've got to be a dad.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to work. I've got to be a husband. You know, I've got to be a son to my elderly parents as well.
Yeah.
So you make these choices, and you do your trade. And I think that where we are in business, where we've got to, it's all a mercy of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. But I think that if we get the support, then yeah, you know, the sky's the limit, isn't it?
Brother, I could talk about this product all day long, and I really, really wish you the most success.
Thank you very much.
Brother Ismail Sakrani from Modestly Active. Jazakallah khair. Brothers and sisters, we're going to see you after the break with even more. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live. Thursday Night Live.
This program is brought to you by Syria Relief.